Good afternoon, guys, and happy what is today? Wednesday to all of your sunshiny faces. That's right, guys. I didn't check off the stuff I got done on my planner again today. That is just, I do it whenever I'm recording apparently now. I edited 2 vlogs today. I stayed up a little bit later. Actually, I could have just let it encode on its own and I could have probably been in the shower almost a half an hour ago, but I didn't. And so I did that, and I edited or uploaded the 2 vlogs that I edited yesterday. I also, guys, well, I didn't clean the kitchen today. I knew I wasn't going to yesterday because I went in there and was like, okay, XYZ needs to be picked up for me to be able to clean in here. And so none of that stuff ended up getting cleaned up. Well, actually, because we brought the bird seed inside because I baked it, so the tote is sitting in there with the full thing of bird seed. My dad needs to go put it in the garage, but he didn't get to that, so that's sitting on the floor. So like, obviously you can clean around it, but then there was just a whole bunch of other just cluttery things on the counter, and there's like people's dishes everywhere. So I actually knew yesterday that I wasn't gonna wind up getting to that because I had like asked. And on top of that too, my dad, well, yesterday was Tuesday, so him and Jack had football practice too, and my dad worked actually late too, so he didn't wind up getting home until after the football practice, which is at like 7 o'clock or something like that. And so yeah, he didn't wind up getting to that. So then I was like, well, if you guys take care of the stuff today, you know, like I was like, I'll take care of it then tomorrow, you know, on Thursday. And I still didn't get to it. So there's like stuff on the table, on the counters. There's people's dishes that they didn't wash. Like, I've been good this week, guys. I have taken care of, I've cleaned the crock pot. I will let it just like soak overnight, but I'm normally sometimes kind of like, oh, I'll get to it later or whatever. Like, I don't clean it up or take care of it when I'm supposed to in the morning normally when I get up, but I've been good every day so far. And I didn't do dishes though today, but I did do a load of laundry, so I can check laundry got done. Yeah, like I said, I washed the dishes. I just didn't actually run a load of dishes, but I think I might have enough to run a load, maybe now that I dirtied the other crock pot from today. I think tomorrow I'm just gonna wind up doing barbecue chicken sandwiches, because for one, I need to get the barbecue sauce out of the pantry. It's overflowing sort of, and I also need to use up some freezer dinners, and I also dirtied both the big crock pots. They're not washed yet, so that's what I'm thinking about doing for dinner tomorrow. Sometimes I'm good and I will write down in my planner like, oh, make this thing, make that thing, or whatever. And I haven't been, only because I haven't been making, I haven't been like following my planner really well recently. Told you guys this is the first week now that I've actually been like doing my planner at all. So yeah, I've been good, but one of the reasons too is that I ended up like using my planner for this week was because I had major nostalgia, and I was like, I kind of want to play some old PlayStation 1 and 2 video games, because we have a PS2 that is like old. Well, actually it's the PS2 Slim, so I don't know what actually happened to our old PS2. We used to have the big like boxy one too, and I don't really know what happened to that. This one actually my dad bought at Target. Like, I remember like when I thought that like PlayStation was like, you know, I guess they sold the PS2 for like a really long time apparently. Like, once it was even kind of getting phased out, like they were still like selling them. And so like, I don't know, it must have been like 2000 and something, but I remember my dad bought it at Target because he was like, well, at some point something's gonna happen to the other one. And sure enough, it was like shortly after that, like it stopped, like the old one like kind of, I don't know, it stopped reading discs, but like a lot of times like it would just kind of have issues and stuff like that. So my dad just ended up buying it, which is weird too, because he didn't, I mean, maybe they did, like my parents, like, I don't know, apparently my dad was kind of into like video games like back in the day, but my mom never really was, like almost at all. Like, the only game I remember her having was, she had a Wheel of Fortune game that apparently she really loved, but like she wasn't like really into like playing video games or anything like that. But like my parents, I guess they had like some type of Nintendo a long time ago, probably before I was born, but then they got they had a PS1, And I think I might have told you guys this story too. They had a PS1 when I was like little-ish. Like my mom had Wheel of Fortune and my dad had like a couple of games. I think he had like a football game and stuff like that. But like, I don't know. I do remember them playing like I don't know what game it was, like a NASCAR game or something like that. Or maybe it was, we used to have, it was like all of the old like Pac-Man and like old like arcade games were actually on a like PS1 disc, Galaga and stuff like that. And it was like some game that was like, you know, sort of like remastered for the PS1 or whatever, considering that was like remastered. It was like, you know, an at-home video game sort of thing, and it was for the PS1. And I remember like my dad and my uncle played it like one time, but like other than that, like I don't ever really remember. Like they probably played it like when we were asleep and stuff like that, you know. But I don't really ever remember them like, you know, breaking out the PlayStation and like playing video games or anything like that. Like I remember that there was one, like they had it in, there was a small TV in my parents' bedroom and they had, like I said, that in there, because I always remember being like, that looks fun, I want to play it. Like I remember one time like watching my dad play like football or something like that. But other than that, this was again like probably before 2000, because we moved out of that house in 2001, so it had to have been sometime around there. But again, I vaguely remember them ever actually using it. Anyways, so they had that for a while. Matthew shoved a marble in it and my dad thought it was completely broken, and actually what happened was our friends ended up, I guess they got a new TV, and the TV stand, something ended up happening to it and it fell on their PlayStation 2 that was like brand new at the time, and ended up actually, they thought that because the stand was faulty, they ended up actually having them replace the PS2, and it ended up turning out where it was actually the disc inside of the PlayStation was broken, and so they had an extra one, like their old one they ended up giving to us, that it just had like a crack, like a scratch across the top, but the actual PlayStation was totally fine and we had it and used it for years. That was the one that ended up breaking, the old like boxy sort of one. But we actually ended up, like I said, getting it from a friend, who I think that was what ended up happening, because all I know is there was like a crack, like not a crack, but like a scrape down the PlayStation, like the outside of it, and they said that originally they had tried to use it and it wasn't working, so they had the company replace, you know, their PlayStation, and ended up turning out that it was actually wound up being just the disc that was inside was actually cracked and broken, and that was what ended up causing the PlayStation to not be working anymore. So they ended up giving us their old one, and it worked fine. Like we had it for years. So anyways, though, we ended up, like I said, my dad bought this one a handful of years ago, and I was just having like, I was like, I don't know why, but I feel like playing like old video games that I had like when I was little and stuff like that. So I broke all of those out and started playing them, which, guys, we seriously have so many PlayStation 2 video games. It's not even funny. Like, we have like maybe like 20 or so, maybe 20 to 30 PlayStation 1 video games. We probably have over 50 or more PlayStation 2 games. Like, it's pretty crazy, because actually I found a box in the attic because I was looking for a different one that I thought I had. And this is the thing too, guys, it's kind of funny, is that I swear we had a couple of video games that I think we actually didn't have, but I think that we had them because we used to rent them from like movie stores. Like, we used to go to, there was a Hollywood Video and then also Family Video. We used to rent video games from there all the time, and we used to rent the same one sometimes, like on repeat, like almost weekly or like bi-weekly. We would wind up renting them, and you know, like I thought that I owned a couple of video games that I'm like, clearly I don't, because I don't know where else they would be. And I have all of my old like PlayStation 1 and 2 video games in a box in my closet, and so I know that I apparently don't have actually some of the ones that I really was convinced that I had, but I think it was just because we rented them so many times when like we were little that I thought I actually owned them, and apparently I didn't. And so I was like, I actually texted Matthew, because Matthew's been buying some used video games recently of old ones that we used to, again, play a ton, but we never actually bought, through Macari, I think it is, or something like that. I think that's how you say it, Macari, right? And apparently it's sort of like eBay, but he's found, I guess, pretty good deals on some of the video games on there. And so I was like, do you think you could maybe order me a couple of these ones? Because I was pretty sure that we had them, and apparently we didn't. He was like, no, I'm convinced too. Like, we were both convinced. And then when I actually saw the cover, like, I was looking it up and I saw the cover of the box, and I was like, I don't actually think that I did own that one. I think I owned a different one. So yeah, but I had, like I said, total nostalgia today, and was playing all kinds of old video games. And it's weird too, because like the video games I played when like PS1 video games and like PS2 video games were like kid ones and stuff like that, but like I had, guys, the SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom before it was the new remastered, the rehydrated one, and so that was one of the ones I was like, I really want to finish this game, because and this is what happened today. I got to the very last level and ended up just being like, okay, that's it. I've been playing this game for like 2 days now, and I need to stop. It only took me about maybe 2 or 3 days, 4 days maybe, or something like that, to actually finish pretty much the whole game. Not like 100%, but just like actually finish the main thing. And I was like, you know what? I was like, I don't know that I ever actually finished it. I feel like this is the same thing. Everything in my life, I get to the last of like, well, I guess like TV, movies, series and stuff like that. I get to like the last season or the last episode or whatever. I never finish it. Get to the last stage on a video game, but I never actually finish it. Like, I don't know why. Like, it's not that like I don't want it to be over. I want to finish it, but for some reason I just don't. Like, you know, I want to know what happens. At the same time, I still always want to be like, well, I want to just imagine that there's still something else that's going to happen, you know, in my favorite TV show or something like that, or my favorite video game or whatever. But I don't know that I've actually ever completely full-on finished some of these things. And so I was like, that's it. I'm 100% complete like a couple of them. And so that's why, guys. Long story short, I made the deal with myself. I was like, Kayla, you gotta get back on track though. You know, this is the same thing like when you tell yourself like, you can have the ice cream after you've eaten a salad. It's the same thing for me. It's like, Kayla, you can play video games, but you know, you can go back and, you know, have that nostalgia, but you gotta do the stuff on your planner, get all that kind of stuff done, and then you can enjoy yourself. And like I said, go boot up some of those old video games. And so Jack was doing the same thing too, because I guess Matthew just bought they remastered like a couple of the Mario games for the Switch, like Mario Sunshine, Mario 64, and Mario Galaxy, I think. And we used to have Galaxy. We still have it for the Wii, which isn't that old of a game. Like, to me, I don't know, it's kind of not weird that it's remastered, but whatever. It's like the 3D Mario games. I never played the other one, so the other two, just I played a little bit of Galaxy, but it's kind of that same thing too. Like, they were like, oh, we really want to play this now, like, oh my gosh, like, you know, now that it's remastered, like, you know, and you know, having some of that nostalgia. And so that Matthew and Jack were doing the exact same thing too, and I was like, it's like everybody, we're all playing old video games now. But I got the PS2 in my room, they're both playing it. Well, I don't know, Matthew sometimes plays it on his Switch at school, and Jack was playing it today, and I was like, this is like, you know, we're all playing all the old stuff. So yeah, like I said, every once in a while I'll be like, oh, I remember playing that, or I used to spend so much time, or I never finished that game, or something like that. So that's what I was doing. And yeah, so I want to try and finish a couple of the games that I never finished, and finally be able to pat myself on the back after, again, years, decades really, of having some of these, never actually finishing them, because I don't want them to be over. But like, I don't know, it's not that, like, it's not that I don't want to finish them. I want to have that sense of accomplishment, but for some reason sometimes I like wear myself out, almost like burnout, and I will wind up, you know, like playing it, and then like get to the end and I'm just like, you know, obviously the last levels are the hardest ones, so you know, then I'm like, by that point I'm like, okay, this is exhausting. I've been playing it for like 2 days straight. I'm done, you know, like I will wait, I will come back and try and play it again. And so yeah, that's apparently how that SpongeBob game is going to go. But on top of that too, it's so scratched up. Like we put that thing through the ringer and some of the levels don't even load. It's like, so like, I think just from being like scratched up and stuff like that. So I was like, well, the thing is too, we pre-ordered the SpongeBob Rehydrated one, and we ordered it pre-pandemic. The game came out during the pandemic and we never went to go pick it up yet from GameStop. So we still have like $5 put down on it, but haven't went and actually picked it up yet. So yeah, gotta go and do that at some point, because like there's also like, obviously like now I feel like it's a little bit like, you know, we just wear masks and go into the store and stuff like that, but you know, we haven't actually gone out that way to a GameStop and there's not one close to us anymore. And so you know, it's not like we'll just be like, let's go take a trip. Like, you know, there's really nothing else to go out there for other than like groceries to go pick that up, you know, because I think when we actually put money down on it, it was like, again, maybe in December, no, maybe January or February or something like that. Actually, I believe it was actually right the week before, maybe 2 weeks before Matthew went on spring break, and right after spring break, or during spring, or no, the week after spring break was when I think we almost went into lockdown, and then like the week or two after that we actually did go into lockdown. So it was literally just a couple of, you know, maybe a month before that or something like that. And so yeah, we never ended up going back out that way. But I think the last time we were out there, we like took a trip to like, you know, because again, it's not super long, but it's a good like 15-20 minutes away now. That's the closest GameStop to us. So I think we went out there and like maybe we ran a couple of other errands to places, but I was like, what else are we gonna go out there for right now? Like there's not a whole lot of other stuff. But I realized too, when we went to Dick's Sporting Goods, I think that there was one near there. We should have went and picked it up when we were there. That would have been a smart thing to do. Instead, again, it's kind of like we're going out there for a trip for something and don't know what else we need to go there for. So yeah, I want to go and pick it up, obviously, because I put some money towards it already. I want to go and get it. So yeah, but I was, like I said, playing the old one, and I was like, I want to see too like how different the old one and the new one is, because the same thing too with the Spyro video game and the Crash Bandicoot, which we don't have that, but the Spyro game, which I think is in my room right now, I used to have the second one for the PS1, and a friend had the first one, so I was kind of familiar with the first and second one. And then the third one, which is on that Spyro, what is it even called, Reignited Trilogy, that's the one it's called. But it is in my room. That one, the third one of that, like in the trilogy, we've rented that one a handful of times too, because like I said, we didn't always wind up buying the video games, we just rented them from the movie store. So that's how you figured out if you wanted a game and you actually liked it enough to like go and buy it at that point, was if it was something that you constantly were renting. Like that's how Kingdom Hearts was, and we ended up like, I don't even know, we have that for the PS2, we have it for the PS3, we also have it for the Xbox One now, because they remastered it like again for the PS1. So yeah, we have a lot of versions of that, plus we also have the newest Kingdom Hearts. But all the old ones too. We have it on almost every like system right now. Anyways, guys, yeah, I made today's vlog long enough talking about video games. But yeah, I just, like I said, it's so weird. Like, and it's put a smile on my face like all day, because I was like, I just miss, like, I was like little when I used to play some of these, and so you know, just like, I don't know, it's put me in a better mood. And on top of that too, I'm like, hey, but I'm still holding myself accountable and getting my things done that I need to, like doing dishes, editing, uploading, doing the laundry. You know, I gotta make my grocery list tomorrow so we can go to the stores on Friday, which is still gonna turn into the kind of the same thing. My dad has to work on Saturday, so we'll probably do like 3 grocery stores Friday, and then just Aldi on Sunday most likely. So I'll share that with you guys as we wind up doing the grocery shopping. I believe that is the last week it will be like this. But anyways, I will see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys aren't new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.